the hell do you have on? So
ladies, gentlemen, welcome to today's Connoisseur's Conversation. Tonight, we're going to dive into a bold, modern, and somewhat polarizing fragrance from the brand of Nihilo. I've heard good things, I've heard bad things about this particular scent profile. Not particularly bad, like awful, but very nuanced in the way that people have perceived this particular scent profile. So let's talk about Outcast Blue Extrait from the brand of Nihilo. A fragrance that to me is one that blends a lot of saffron, a lot of, let me turn that upside right, a lot of spicy woods, a lot of tobacco, moss, very much so a statement piece in anyone's collection. As always, I'm going to give you up front, this is going to score a very decent score between, I'd say, 79 and 81 for me. And it's not, the scent is one that's not compelling to me. It's going to be about some other things that I'm going to evolve or involve in the conversation as we talk about what it is to have this particular scent profile. And why I get those knocks, I think those knocks are justifiable. So let's get right into what it is to have Outcast Blue as a fragrance and perfume in your collection. If this sounds like the type of content you think you'll enjoy, pull up a seat, pour a glass, and of course, let's enhance. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dry Down, the lifestyle channel where we as enthusiasts aspire to enhance and elevate our olfactive sensory experiences through understanding of different aromas, facets, and nuances of scent, cigars, and wines. I am, of course, your host, Chris. Welcome to today's elevated experience. We're going to dive into it like I always do. Outcast Blue is going to be the subject line for us today, and it's about a bold, unconventional fragrance that I think everybody should kind of get their nose on in the sample form. Very, very masculine scent. To me, I'll tell you what, let's get right into it. Let's go through the composition, performance, demographic, and wearability, seasonality. All the things we love to talk about here on the Connoisseur's Conversation. We dive into one of these fragrances. So let's get right into what it is to have this extrait on our skin. I'm going to show you the atomizer with today's spray on paper. As you can see, a very controlled, pressurized mist. This is the bottle form. I'll get to more of that in the presentation form of it. But let's talk about the composition. It is on my skin for 2.5 hours now on my left hand, and it has the dry down going. So what we get here as a composition, and I think this is the most poignant part about this composition, 42 out of 50 is what I'm going to give this one. And the composition, as we talk about it, according to the notes, I'll give you that. The notes give it saffron, black pepper, pink pepper, like this almost clean, sharp lily of the valley that immediately pops up and gives its head, and a spark of a nice little sexy, leathery tonality to a saffron spice. And that's one of the best parts of this one, I must say. The saffron spice, it's edgy, but it's still kind of cool and relaxed as the way it comes across. The heart of this one, as it unwinds, we start to see what the clean feel of Lily of the Valley comes out of this one. Lily of the Valley is one of the notes that I've said, it's not a popular note. To me, it is one of the more exemplary notes when we're talking about a clean, masculine fragrance. Everything from Oud Nobilis from the brand of Elegance to Solvana in the brand of Electimus. Even I think Himalaya or Silver Mountain Water has Lily of the Valley in it. It's a very clean, soft, white floral, but it's not white floral-esque as much as you would think of like a jasmine or a what am I thinking of? The floral orange blossom. It's more of this really stark, clean, soapy scent profile. And once it's in this one, attaching this to the other florals and the woods and the spiciness, it very much so brings about a clean, softened, spiced cedar profile that is great in a fragrance for men with a woody background. To me, the base in this one, the richness of this one, the base is what comes out the most. Very rich tobacco, vetiver, oak moss, green oak moss. Very, attaches itself to that Lily of the Valley, of course. A clean, smoky, sexy, sandalwoody, patchouli, great depth fragrance. And it is one that I'm going to say this. The pillars in this one, sexy, but very, very different than you would expect from a fragrance that has these notes. When I see tobacco, I know that I'm going to add a little sweet smokiness to a fragrance. When I see oak moss, I'm going to see a little bit of a clean earthiness to a fragrance. I see vetiver, that brings more earth, more woodiness, sometimes a starchness or a bitterness to a fragrance that brings the focus of masculinity. And sandalwood, that rounds out something of a fragrance to my knowledge and to my wearing experience. Very creamy, very well-rounded, very smooth layer of woods. Cedar can be more clean, woody, and that's all impactful in this particular scent. And it sends a clean vibe while also being very, very woody, while having almost to me, if I was to give this a scale of sweetness, the sweetness would be around 20 out of 100 on this one. A very character-driven fragrance, very deep, very woody. And it works, for me at least. The opening, compelling, saffron, pepper, punches up, that commands attention. Transition into woods, tobacco, a well-balanced, well-done architecture around the mid. It gives it, adult texture and feel. Adult man. You don't smell like anything other than a 35 to 45 to 55, 65-year-old man. No juvenile essence to this whatsoever. This is very masculine leaning territory for men. I would say if I was to put a masculine list together, the first two fragrances that would come to mind, this one, Outcast Blue, Masculine Pluriel from Mason Francis Kirkjohn. Those are from this side of the cool weather, masculine leaning, leathery, fougere-esque, woody, contemporary, modern fragrances. What holds this one back to me as I smell it, and I've smelled it over the time I've had it, is something that feels familiar around the woody tobacco architecture, but it's only inside of this actual brand that I'm smelling that, which kind of gives me a lot of nerve-wracking feel, because I want to explore this brand more often than I have. I have quite a few in my capsules and in my portfolio, my collection, but it's like I'm starting to smell the same thing over and over again. While this has some differentiators to it, I do know that I've smelled this before inside of this particular brand. And that, like I said, is annoying as hell. Great architecture to the fragrance. It doesn't, do a lot of surprise for you as much as it should for this price point and profile. That's one thing I give it a knock to. So as I award this one a 42 out of 50, it's more for the strong and nuanced fragrance, but not for being a revolutionary fragrance. But through and through, it's a great fragrance to wear to office. Great fragrance for leisure days. Even great fragrance, not for date nights. Don't even wear this on a date. Don't even try it. Evening out, elegant parties, gatherings, a relaxed day of just wanting to wear something masculine, and business. Ultimately, that's what I'm wearing it for on my daily basis. This is my business fragrance for this winter, and I'm enjoying wearing it for that. Next, let's get into what it is to have sillage and projection. For me, when it comes to this particular fragrance, the actual performance is one of the strongest points to this particular fragrance. It's the strength of this one is just suits Extrait form. Jordi Fernandez, who is the perfumer, puts his foot in his perfumes when he wants to make something strong, and he did not lax in making Outcast Blue Extrait a performer. Projection, crazy, well establishing itself into a 10-hour mark as far as like projection and sillage. The saffron and spice, it carries this one throughout the first wave. The tobacco and woods, it has this base that lingers graciously throughout with those notes. I even other reviewers have talked about how crazy this can be as far as the longevity and how solid that is. That's what I contend to tell people as I've talked to them about this particular fragrance online. I am not the only one who thinks this is one of the most highly performing fragrances in my collection. On my skin, it lasts well into 10 to 12 hours. And the trail is very much so assured to have a very, very well-balanced trail behind you without being overwhelming. 18 out of 20 is what I'm going to give the performance and projection and sillage of this particular fragrance profile from the brand of Nihilo. Great job in the performance factor. Spray it once or twice, office scent, going out to like a leisure day, going out for the rest of the day for an 8-hour day and maybe 10 hours, want to take something into a happy hour or an evening affair. 6 sprays max, 2 up top, 1 on each wrist, maybe a base layer around the neck of the neck, and then 1 on the top of my head is what I do. And that's giving me a great profile throughout the days of wearing it with complexity and evolution. Next, let's talk about what it is to have the actual presentation. So to me, Nihilo bottles are minimal yet high quality. These are very thick glass bottles, very heavy weighted glass bottles. The Extrait version of Outcast Blue, it, just like the other Extrait, it has this beautiful cobalt blue that is just a golden hued blue gem of a fragrance bottle. I've never seen this actual coloration on a bottle this well done. Maybe from 20 to 30 years ago when what's the scent from Davidoff? Cool Water made their blue bottles. That was a very impactful blue bottle for me when I was a youngster. This one here, it looks just like U of M. Maize and blue, gold and blue. Very, very nicely done. The visual lines on it, while I've spoken about this recently, this is a new conversation I'm having with you, and I have spoken about this recently, where this bottle is the exact same bottle as BDK perfumes. The only thing about it, even though it's the same exact bottle and feel, weight-wise, it is a very vast difference to it. I'm not sure why that is. I cannot understand. You can pick up one and the other blindly and very clearly feel what it is to have a difference in the bottle weight in your hand. And I've tried that with 3 different bottles from each brand, picking up to see if it felt that way, and it does. So maybe they use crystal while BDK is using glass. I can't be certain on that and tell you that, but I do know that this is a heavier weight bottle. That is said and done with this one, and it still feels great in hand. This is a bottle that if I were to create and plan on creating a perfume line, this is the type of bottle, an emerald faceted chamfered style of cube is exactly what I would use. Not so much in this height, more of a wider bottle, but this is exactly what I would use. So for me, 7 is what I'll give this out of a 10 when it talks about the actual visuals and the presentation. And especially because in some way, shape, or form, they could have done better with the actual boxing. I've stated that before. The boxing is very, to my knowledge, something that is not hard to do. It's unique, which I say that, but it's not something that you need to skip on when you have a brand asking the price points that they want for these. This is foam. The bottle sits snug inside of a little cough red style, and it slides on a dovetail, and it has a sleeve that has all the information on the front and back. That's the information for the brand on the back if you ever think you're getting a fake bottle. This bottle was purchased directly from website. So this is the Outcast Blue Extrait backing. Like I said, the sliding cover on the foam, not my favorite, but I won't say it's the worst, but to me they could have done better with the sleeve. And they also give a card of authenticity with the actual scent profile to show you some of the things that are in it, some of the compliances and things of that sort. So that is included with the brand and the brand's stamp on the back. Nihilo Blue Talisman, not Blue Talisman, but Outcast Blue. I'm saying Blue Talisman a lot. Outcast Blue from the brand of Nihilo. And like I said, the bottle, the atomizer, you saw the atomizer. The atomizer is a very controlled dispersant. And it smells good, man. I'm going to give it that. It does the composition. Like I said, I scored the composition pretty high because I do love the composition. Next, let's get into what it is to have either the demographic or the wearability. So going forth with this one, let's talk about wearability. That's where you're going to see from me the biggest knock for this one. And not because the wearability is something that's, for my environment, not useful, but as an overall seasonality, who can wear this, when you should wear this, it takes a lot off of this fragrance because it is just that stark of a masculine fragrance. And so best in wearing this one is evenings in cooler weather, possibly a night out, but nothing like a date night. Business scent wise, it's great for that, especially in the winter time. This is a great gray, navy, and even a deep charcoal suit through and through. That's what this calls for. Even some casual wear when it comes to cardigans and half zips and very nice comfortable sweater weather. That's a great scent to wear with this one as well. So the tobacco, the moss, the base, it leans fall winter non-stop, full stop. That carries the weight of this one. It's in warm daylight, nah, not at all. It might feel too heavy and too dense. And I mean like in a function going out, not just a day wear of your business wear, but in the day wear of like if you're going out somewhere, maybe a brunch or something like that, it's gonna be a little bit too dense with no real sweetness to it. So it's not something you want to pull off. Clean wise, masculine wise, if you're a person who is looking for a signature scent, a clean, woody signature though, I would say that this one would be greatly admirable for you to wear as a signature if you're in a climate like I am here in Michigan, so Ohio, Wisconsin, New York, Montana, the great Pacific coast. I would say that this would be a fragrance great for you guys to wear on a daily basis. Texas, Carolinas, no, this is not something you want to wear every day. It's too dense, too heavy, but sexy as hell. I will give it that. So for that, I'm giving this a 7 out of 15. It's good in the mood and the setting that you put it in, which should be the influential mood of business and attire for leisure affairs that are going to the evening. But for me, that makes it very less of a versatile fragrance. And women don't even think about picking this up. If you're picking this up for yourself, you're going to be very disappointed with Outcast Blue on your skin. Let's get now to impression and demographic. To me, what I like to talk about when I'm saying impressions and demographic is talking about who would like to wear this. What impression are you trying to make? And this is the what, the why, the when, and where to wear something type of variable for me. It gets noticed through and through. All day long, it will get noticed. It's not a subtle fragrance. It's one that has this beautiful appeal to it. But the demographic for this one is late 20s, 29, 40s, and 50s. Niche fragrance friendly. Someone who wants presence and texture on their skin. The masculine factor is very high, very strong, given the tobacco and woods and the clean oak moss. So to me, for the wearability and the demographic of men who are watching this particular content, this gets a 4, almost a 5 out of 5. I want to give it a 4.5, but I'm going to do half points. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. When we're talking about demographic of men wearing masculine fragrances, this is a man's fragrance right here in Extrait form of Outcast Blue. Through and through. High score. No need to say more. So with that, I'm going to give you guys my final score of 79 out of 100. That's just a way to put this fragrance into a great area of, above average, just above excellent, but above average for sure. Very good in the way I see this fragrance. This one is a composition that gave you a 42, a sillage projection of about 18, and a presentation around the, I'd say 7-ish. Wearability was the lowest score because of it is restrained in so many ways that you wear this one, from its complexity to its masculine, no femininity, it's 99% to the masculine area. And so if I have women watching this channel, I have to let you know that the wearability is very rare for you. So that's bringing this to a 7 for men looking at this fragrance though. And I'll say that with the caveat. If a man is looking at this fragrance and says, can I wear that? And a high score being for you that is only you can wear it and there's not any flexibility in it as a unisex fragrance or any other way, I would say that this is a 14 out of 15 when talking of wearability for men, especially those with a character-driven persona that is mature. If you're 29 and up, 30-ish, and to 55, 60, this is a fragrance for you to embody and encompass. As far as the impression goes, it made a great impression on me. I love wearing this for my days. Some casual days I've worn it, went off quite well. Most days it's a business day, somewhat of a leisure business day, and it's been doing great for me. Very phenomenal. Great. I'll say this as well. When that's not a factor I often talk about in these conversations, it has garnered me plenty of compliments when wearing this one, and I'd like to say that as well. So to me, in short, Outcast Blue is an Extrait farm fragrance that is sophisticated, it's powerful, it has a great strong performance, and it is one that is assured of masculine character. It's not perfect for everyday wear at all. It doesn't break any boundaries also, but the composition is well done, great architecture, and it delivers quality and distinction. And so that's what I want to say to you about this one in this particular scent profile. Remember, scent is memory, collecting its legacy, and community is culture. And we here at the Dry Down, we are the culture. Always stay bold, stay blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.